Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. When I press play, I thought I was about to hear a casual message, something light, something ordinary. Maybe Emma reminding her best friend Lily about dinner plans, or laughing about one of her clients at the studio. But instead, what came through my phone shattered everything I believed about her, about us. It started with a sigh. Then her voice, low, shaky, too intimate. He left early again. I can still smell him on me, Lily. God, I can't stop thinking about it. My chest went cold. The words replayed in my head like a gunshot echoing through an empty room. I froze in the kitchen, one hand gripping the counter to stay upright. My phone trembled in the other. She didn't say my name. She said his. Evan's getting suspicious, I think. He asked me why I've been smiling so much lately. I told him I'm just happy, you know? But you should have seen the way he looked at me, Lily. Like he almost knew. My name. My wife's voice. Her confession. And the sound of my world collapsing in quiet, merciless detail. I replayed it again. And again. Every word carved deeper into me. Until I wasn't sure if I was breathing anymore. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Emma and I had been together for 8 years. Married for 5. We were partners in every sense, or so I thought. She was my calm after chaos, the reason I'd believed in something steady. I walked to the window, staring at her car parked outside the house. She was at the gym. Or so she'd said. But her gym bag was still here, resting against the hallway wall. A bitter laugh escaped me. The pieces began to fit, or rather, they began to fall apart in the shape of a truth I didn't want to see. The late-night workouts. The phone face down on the table. The new perfume she said was a gift from a client. The sudden obsession with her appearance, the soft humming while she dressed, the way her eyes darted away whenever I said I loved her. And now, this. A voice note that wasn't meant for me. When she came home that evening, the house felt heavy, quiet in a way that demanded attention. Hey, she said, hanging her keys by the door. You're home early. Yeah. My voice sounded foreign to me. Calm, deliberate, rehearsed even though it wasn't. She walked over, smiling. You okay? Yeah, I lied. I just wanted to hear your voice. The irony tasted like poison. She laughed softly, touching my arm. That's sweet. Her hand lingered, warm and familiar. But all I could think about was him. Whoever he was. Whoever she'd become with him. We ate dinner together. The way couples do when they're pretending everything's fine. I watched her laugh at something on her phone, fork in hand, wine glass untouched. It took every ounce of strength not to ask. Not to explode. Not to show her that I knew. Because I wanted to see it. The truth in her eyes when she didn't know I was looking for it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I scrolled through our old photos, trips to the coast, birthdays, blurry kitchen selfies. Moments that once felt sacred now looked staged. A movie I thought I was starring in, only to learn I was just background noise. At 2:14 a.m., I opened her messages. Lily was pinned to the top. I hesitated for a full minute before opening the chat. Most messages were harmless. Memes, makeup tips, random chatter. But then, buried between them, was one that stopped me cold. He said he loves me, Lily. I didn't mean for this to happen. But when he touches me, I forget everything else. I read it 3 times. My mind screamed stop, but my thumb kept scrolling. Lily, you have to choose, Em. You can't keep living like this. Emma, I know. But how do I tell Evan? He's been nothing but good to me. He doesn't deserve it. The screen blurred through my tears. No, I didn't deserve it. But that hadn't stopped her. In the morning, I brewed coffee like always. She came downstairs, hair damp, wearing one of my shirts. You're quiet today, she said gently. I looked at her. Really looked. At the woman I loved. The woman who'd kissed me goodnight every day while loving someone else. I'm fine, I said, placing a mug in front of her. She smiled, sipping. You're a terrible liar. You know that. That stung. Yeah, I murmured. Guess I am. She didn't notice the shift in my tone. She didn't notice that her phone, left charging on the counter, had a tiny blue dot next to the voice note she'd sent the night before. The one I'd heard. Days passed. I said nothing. I wanted her to confess, to look me in the eyes and choose truth. But she didn't. She carried on as though nothing had changed, humming in the kitchen, planning weekend trips, kissing me goodbye before meeting Lily. Every gesture became a blade. By the 5th day, silence felt like suffocation. That night, I set my phone on the table between us. The voice note queued up, ready. "Emma," I said, watching her face. "I think you sent me something by mistake." Her eyes flickered with confusion. Then I hit play. Her voice filled the room. Her real voice. The one she'd saved for someone else. "He left early again. I can still smell him on me." She froze. Her fork clattered to the plate. Her breath hitched. "Evan, I can explain." "Can you?" I whispered. Tears welled in her eyes. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. It was just. Just what? My voice rose, trembling. A mistake? A moment of weakness? How many moments, Emma? She buried her face in her hands. "Please. I didn't mean for you to find out like that." I laughed, a hollow, broken sound. "You mean you didn't mean for me to find out at all?" We sat in silence for a long time. The clock ticked like it was counting down to something inevitable. "I loved you," I said quietly. "Even when you stopped loving me, I still did." She looked up, tears streaking her cheeks. "I still love you." I shook my head. "No. You love who you were when you were lying." Her sobs filled the room, but I didn't comfort her. I just stood, walked to the door, and turned back once. "You know," I said, my voice barely steady, "you always told me the worst thing in the world was breaking someone's trust. Congratulations. You did it beautifully." I left the house that night with nothing but my car keys and the phone that started it all. The voice note was still there. I couldn't bring myself to delete it. It was proof that love, no matter how perfect it looks, can rot quietly from the inside. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come screaming through the front door. Sometimes, it whispers through a voice note you weren't supposed to hear.